like where you say something and it's misinterpreted, and instead of addressing it with the person or individual, like human interaction, you read it on your phone. Like you read it on a text. Somebody says that, hey, did you see what this person said about you, and it's your teammate? And you're like, wait, I didn't hear that. And then you hold back, you don't say anything to them, and then throughout the season, it ends up coming out again. And it's just like, man, that's not the way life is supposed to go. You know, it's a unique position, but I'm appreciative that I can have this understanding now. So, you know, it's fun, but at the same time, goodness, it's energy taxing.
Thanks so much to Kyrie, always keeping it 100. Man, I love the sort of, he sees the field right now. You can tell that, and he's not afraid to talk about it. And look, he's right. This speculation about free agency, it's going to keep churning. In fact, can we guys do a little run it back with KD? Oh yeah, and Kyrie, because they had some romance moments at the All-Star game. I personally think they were like leaning in to all the speculation about them because they were not secretive at all. They were videotaped talking in the hallway of the Spectrum Center, right?
So when you going to announce?
Right, I'll do it. Kyrie was the only player to stick around for KD's entire All-Star ceremony, right? Look at him, he's right there.
Are you kidding me?
No, I am not.
Tracy said, are you kidding me? Look, they definitely have a bromance going on. That's their thing. More likely than not, I see the potential for both of them becoming New York Knicks, gaining steam. So we'll find out. We'll see.
There's the video, and finally, photo was posted of KD and Kyrie together with the caption, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving spotted in a Miami restaurant together. Eyeballs! Eyeballs! Now, it's a little dark, so I don't know if that was like a KD stand-in and a Kyrie stand-in.
Further evidence, I don't believe them. They say they don't like it. The speculation. I just...
I mean, they'll sit there and say, well, I can't talk to my friend in a hallway?
I believe them when they say that they don't like it. I just think that they have to understand who they are. You're not a regular person, so you're not going to live a regular life. You have to deal with that.
I just don't buy it. I think they enjoy it.
Are we talking about this question?
On this show, you never know, Tracy.
That was a lot right there. Like there were some things that I didn't know about.
You were taken aback by the trophy presentation.
I was taken back by the trophy presentation and those guys meeting in the hallway in Miami. It's in. But
when Tracy says it's in, he means the fix. That's what he means. He's saying the fix is in.
To answer this question, Boston, the uncertainty of the Boston players, this being a distraction the off season, I don't think so. I think maybe it was a distraction up until trade deadline. Now that's over and gone. You know, with the whole Anthony Davis talk, I mean, we knew nothing was going to happen with Celtics because they couldn't do anything. They had to get rid of Kyrie if they wanted to make that trade. That wasn't going to happen. So I think with that over and done with, I think these guys are really just concentrating on trying to get back to the type of ball they were playing last season and better.
Here's my two player questions.
Well, that's not going to happen unless they just take an incredible quantum leap in the playoffs. Right now, it would not shock me if the Boston Celtics go out in the first round.
Just for you though, you've talked about before that you got to know the guys in the locker room are with you, right? Are you with us, or you would?
And even though I say that it would not shock me if they go out in the first round, I'm still not going to change my pick because, as I've stated incessantly in numerous videos, I think the Celtics have the highest ceiling. They also just happen to have the lowest floor of any team in the Eastern Conference.
Whatever, and that I think maybe that's where some of the outside churn and what Kyrie was talking about at the end there, that media has broken up locker rooms, the idea that if there isn't enough direct conversation, and that's why I said I think he's being pretty mature about this.
Yes.
He's like, if there isn't enough direct conversation, some guy reads on his phone, hey, KD and Kyrie were spotted having dinner. I don't even know if that was them, right? And then they read that and they don't say anything, and then Kyrie doesn't say anything, and then there's that "Are you really with us?" thing going on.
Right, and that's why I appreciate him being so candid and open about it, and just basically saying, if these guys read this, and I don't go to them and talk to them about this situation or what's being put out there, then yes, it could be a distraction, but getting from what he's talking about, that he is having these talks with these guys and not allow that to be a distraction to the team.
Yeah, Rich, I don't think it's about off-season uncertainty. I think it's about in-season uncertainty, and it's very clear that these guys don't have a precise understanding or a precise acceptance of their roles. Right?
Yeah, one of those two things or both, definitely. And that's a reflection on Brad Stevens. Because either way, if they don't have a precise understanding, that means that he's not communicating appropriately to the players what their jobs are and what their roles are. If they don't accept what their role is, that means that he does not have control over the locker room. So it's a major problem for him. And he's taken a hit this season, Brad Stevens.
I mean, look, this is one of the best defensive teams in the league. And the question that plagues the Celtics right now is how can they be an elite offensive team? Because if they are, they're going to win a ton of games down the stretch. They're going to win 20 out of 25. And right now, that's sort of the challenge. I don't think the challenge for Brad Stevens. No. You know, we have lionized this guy for the last week. We've spoken about him in terms reserved only for Greg Popovich, and this is his first real challenge.
No,
agreed.
It's not just on Kyrie.
You know what the challenge is? The challenge is having Kyrie. How do you insert Kyrie?
Wow. Yo, that dude, Kyrie Irving is one of the great pure offensive players that I've seen in the last 30 years. He really is. With the diversity of things that he can do on the floor.
Kyrie into this because...
Oh, did I see Bob Kraft there? Maybe he just came from the masseuse.
Because when Kyrie is out, their roles are clearly identified in how these guys play. They play like they played last year without Kyrie. It's just when Kyrie is in the lineup, okay, now what do we do? How do we play our style of basketball when Kyrie is in the lineup?
What that really means is that the other players are getting too caught up watching Kyrie because Kyrie is not doing a good enough job of making them feel invested on the offensive end.
If you saw the last game they played when Kyrie was out, I mean, they were phenomenal.
They were, and look, he said we have a lot of young guys in our locker room who think that they can be doing more than they're doing.
But they're doing.
That's a nice way of him saying we have a lot of young guys in our locker room who think that they're better than they really are. That's what he really meant.
Doing it though.
They're doing it when he's out.
They're doing it when he's out.
Right, which is again, but they are.
Right, but once again, the aspiration for the Celtics this season is a championship. It's not to go deep into the playoffs. That's what I mean when I say there's a disparity between where certain players are in their careers. Kyrie right now, he's already won a championship. So for him, it's championship or bust. For Jaylen Brown, for Jason Tatum, having a deep run into the playoffs at 21 years old, 22 years old, that's a great season for them. So that's the thing. Kyrie has to go to a team where there are 2 or 3 other players in his age group who understand that they have to push for a championship. They have to understand and have the same urgency that he has.
They're a better team with him.
Of course.
That's what's complicated. That's why it's hard.
But see,
they are a better team with him, but they don't know their roles as much.
I think Kyrie has to look at it like, okay, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without me twice. I've been a champion. So how do I insert myself? How do I insert myself with these guys so they can continue to play at the level that they're playing at? And I also am a guy that can take over games and not be someone that dribbles the ball out, taking shots out of these guys' hand where I need these dudes, right? So maybe I have to take a step back a little bit.
Well, you've seen him play with that, right?
Yeah, and I think I don't like the notion that the Celtics have to fall in line behind Kyrie. It's not an issue of submission. I mean, I think Kyrie also, to your point, needs to make certain allowances.
Agreed.
I mean, this is a really good team without him. That is unusual, right? Like, teams tend to, this is what the Patrick Ewing effect, we call it. Right. But he's going to have to make certain allowances for that, because of that.
If you're Jason Tatum, how do you feel for the next 4 months playing on a team where everybody and their mother thinks they're going to pick you up and trade you to New Orleans for Anthony Davis?
I don't think that Jason Tatum really cares at this point. I think Jason Tatum is good with whatever happens. He's 21 years old. The stock on him is still relatively high. I believe that he believes that wherever he goes, he's going to get more opportunities. And New Orleans, they have some stuff with them. They have some talent there. Don't let the media fool you. Don't let Anthony Davis fool you. They have a nice little team. If Anthony Davis was fully invested, they could have made a playoff run.
July 1st.
I'm not worried about that right now because I have a chance to win a championship this year.
Yep.
So I'm not worried about what's in the past.
Can you really can players do that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
The young Lakers couldn't, maybe almost never actually were going to get traded for Anthony Davis and they fell apart.
No. We have a good chance of getting to the finals and winning the championship this year, and that's what I'm concentrating. Whatever happens, in the off season, I have no control. I want to control
Nor should you care. Like this nonsense about, oh, I'm thinking about what's going to happen in the off season. Who gives a shit? You're making 8 figures a year. You walk outside and you have damn near every female that you want throwing themselves at you. All you have to do is make sure that you don't knock her up. You go to restaurants, they're giving you dinners for free, and they're giving you drinks for free. Isn't that funny? When you get rich, they start giving you free stuff. Why the hell should you be concerned about what's going to happen after the season? I'll tell you what's going to happen after the season. I'm still going to be rich. I'm still going to be one of only about 400 some odd people in the world who could do what I do.
This year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's because I was going to say that's more zen than I think most guys have the capability of being.
Probably.
But your point about, hey, I can't control what's in front of me and putting it there, that makes a lot of sense to me. All right,
But anyway, that's basically it on that. I see the Celtics turning into a dumpster fire, to be quite honest with you. And I think that is starting to become extremely untenable in that locker room. And I also believe that it's for the best for both parties involved that they go their separate ways. But we'll find out. Maybe the Celtics don't have that take because they've invested so much in Kyrie. But anyway, peace.